So this video, we're going to work on some basic striking with the staff. Again, the Korean word for staff is bong. Some quick reminders. When you're using the staff, you want to have a grip with your thumbs always facing in. There should be about a 1 to 2 fists spacing between your hands, with the center line being of the staff, the center balance point of the staff being in the center. And this is very important for your striking. Never take your hands off the staff to readjust them if you think you're in the wrong position because you might have moved the incorrect way. Always go back to what I'm going to call the neutral position, which is this position right here. My hands are in front of me. I'm almost in a chumbi, but my hands are up in front of me in this manner. And this will allow you to go to any position you need to readjust. So what you don't ever want to do is take your hands off and put them and move your staff where you want. You want to go this position and then move your arms and your weapon into the position that you should have been in the first place. All right, so a couple basic strikes with the staff. And some I'll call blocks, some I'll call strikes, but realistically, anything you're doing, well, not everything, but a majority of the things that we're doing in our hyungs with our staff are strikes, okay? Our weapon is an extension of our body, and if I'm swinging it in such a manner that I'm actually striking with it. So we're gonna start with a low block. All right, low block is used in all our bong forms. It's a very common strike. And again, it could be a block if you're reaching out, but honestly, realistically, it's a striking motion. Think of striking anywhere below the belt, somewhere in the leg would do some damage this way. So I am going to do a low block with the staff the same exact way that I would do a low block without a staff. Think of how we start a low block. I start by crossing my arm up, and I'm going to bring it in an angled motion down. Now, because my other hand, my hand would normally chamber, is attached to the staff, it's going to follow along with the weapon. So as I come down, it stays attached, and it's going to go towards my armpit of the side that's doing the block. So if I'm doing a block with my left, my right hand goes towards my left armpit. So my right hand is crossed across my body in this fashion. All right. So if I do a second one, I'm going to go back to my neutral position, take my step, my cross, and down. And you notice I move my hips as well. Anything I do with the weapon, I want to do those same motions I would do if I didn't have a weapon. The weapon is an extension of your body. So we just want the weapon amplifies anything you're going to do that if you didn't have a weapon. So if I move my hips to do a low block, I'm going to move my hips to do a low block with the staff. So side position. I start from my neutral position. I bring the hand across. As I step, I bring the hand down across my knee like any low block I would do without the weapon. And since my right hand is attached to the staff, it moves towards my left armpit and it crosses across my body. All right, if I make another step, up and down. The high strike is the same exact motion, except now we're aiming for the neck and above. So think neck, jawline, temple. So I would do the same sort of thing. I would bring my hand across, and as I step, I would just bring the staff level to my shoulder on this one. All right, so and there's a little angle on that. Like I said, I can aim neck, jaw, temple, anything from the neck up with a good target. So if I'm going to do another one, I flip, I bring it across, and then boom. All right, and going this way, I have to do my cross, step, smack. To do a switch, I start by bringing it up, cross, and smack. And you see there, I didn't come exactly to neutral position, but I could do the same thing. come back to neutral position, and go. So if you're really beginner at the staff, you have to be super disciplined to come back to this position. If you've been using the staff for a little bit and you're just using this for a refresher, as long as it comes to something that resembles that neutral position, you can manipulate the weapon, that's okay. But for beginners, I do suggest going to this position every time. So that's the high strike. Now, the next strike is the crossbody strike. We'll call it a crossbody strike. This is used in bong on ibu. Very simple strike. We're going to step with the left, and you want to think of doing a hook punch with the lead hand. And you're going to use the backhand to pull back towards your body. So as I move, I'm pushing the front hand and pulling the backhand. Strike that way. To switch hands, it's very simple. I just pull and switch. So if I'm going this way to show you from side view, neutral position, boom. If I go to neutral position, step, boom. Always the neutral position if you're having trouble getting from one position to the other. So we have our crossbody strike. And again, the target is generally high section, but I can do them low section towards the ribs. But the idea is you're making a cross motion strike. It's very quick motion. Your arms do not cross on this one. You're just think of moving the staff back and forth. There is a high block. This one is a block, and it could be used as a strike in different situations, but this one is a block. What you would do is think of somebody coming down on your head, and you're just going to bring the staff up. All right, so now you're guarding your head from an attack from down from this region. Think of maybe another staff, somebody trying to hit you in the head with something, and the weapon is going to just drive up and create a barrier between you and the attack coming this way. And to reposition to get the power, I'm going to bring it as I step, bring it back to my neutral, and push as I push my hips. So if I'm going this way, I step, push, step, push. So that's my high block. The other very common strike in our forms and with the weapon in general is a spear strike. Right? So to do a spear strike, I'm going to aim it, I'm going to step with my left, and I'm going to fire. All right, I don't want to go too far. This is a bad front stance. I want to end up in a good front stance. I'm using the momentum of my front stance. So this hand, the back hand doesn't come much past my body, and the front hand is here. Now you can see with my spear, I'm moved past my standard of having my two fists. It's a little bit further than that. The spear is the one where I'll give you the exception for this one, because as you move, you want to reach. All right, you might even lose a little bit as you're trying to get more of a reach, but you don't want to lose your grip and have it this way. And the other thing that you should remember about a spear, if I'm driving into somebody and it doesn't make contact and they are out of the way, I need to be able to hold on to it if they're able to grip it. So you notice my elbow is down, and it does kind of grip the staff to make sure I've got some stability on the weapon. All right, so if I do a spear switch, I bring it across my body and drive. So that's your basic spear strike. All right, so we have our low block or low strike, we have our neck strike, we have our crossbody strike, and we have our high block. All right, and then we have our spear. And you can do a spear from front stance, you can do a spear from horse stance. So as long as the main thing, you run that stability with that arm in horse stance, and that backhand is giving that extra good of grip, and you're not reaching too far. All right, you're not making your stance improper when you do those. So those are your basic strikes for staff. Practice them, and then you'll be able to put those into your forms, and your forms will look even better. Tang Soo.